Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, across all nations, races, and denominations, what is up? The Kingu, the Kingu of Lightning, here today, bringing you guys and gals One Punch Man, episode 11 and 12 review. Now, I know. I am a few weeks late on this one. I do apologize. It is past the new year, obviously. And I know folks are going to complain, oh my god, King of Lightning, what the fuck, man? What up, nigga? Why you late, nigga? And I'm like, okay, alright, listen. It is what it is. I was fairly busy. Holiday season. I have to travel everywhere and shit. I got stuff to take care of. Life demands my presence. Not just YouTube, shit. And the fact of the matter here is that it's spilled milk. There's no use crying about it. It's dust under the rug. Let's move the fuck on. One step forever forward. Now, here's the thing. I want to say something that I think is going to be perceived as controversial. I don't think it's controversial because I think it's true. One Punch Man, and again, that's my personal opinion, so let me put a caveat right there for the folks that are going to cry about it. So in my personal opinion, One Punch Man is the best anime that came out in the fall of 2015. Honestly, I think it's the best anime that came out in 2015, period. Out of all the anime, I think One Punch Man takes the crown. It just, yeah, Saitama's holding the crown like, what up? He's not even wearing it. He doesn't need to wear it. He's holding the crown like, what up, bitches? Because One Punch Man, well, no, let me just focus on fall. Because let me not go too broad here. In fall, you have some very good series. You have Owari no Seraph, the second season. You still have Haikyuu, the second season. You have K, the Return to Kings. You got Iron Blood Orphans Gundam. You got, which I thought was a masterpiece, Noragami Arigato. That I thought was wonderful, honestly. You have series that I didn't get to yet, but I heard a lot about, like Heavy Object. But in all honesty, I think One Punch Man is just a clear-cut de facto winner. One Punch Man, from what I saw, was viewed by the most people in the entire year of anime. Like, the way it rose in overall, like, popularity is very reminiscent, if not better, than Attack on Titan. Honestly. Like, it was fucking everywhere. You couldn't escape One Punch Man. You really couldn't. You really couldn't escape Saitama's face. It's fucking plastered everywhere. So don't be surprised if you're going to see One Punch Man cafes in Japan. If you're going to have One Punch Man, like, trains in Japan. Statues of Saitama, like, going like this. Or just, pale ass face, like, whatever. Guarantee you that's happening right now. Guarantee you the Japanese are sculpting Saitama sculptures across Japan as we speak. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it at all. I guarantee you there's going to be, like, some weird, like, Tatsumaki and Fubuki made cafes in Japan. Guarantee you. Don't doubt it. Oh, man. But either way, fact of the matter is that One Punch Man, at least on YouTube, on social media, it blew the fuck up. As far as I saw when I was in Comic-Con and I was getting One Punch Man volumes, they were sold out constantly. It was like, bro, let me get volumes like 1 and 2. Like, I couldn't find volumes among all of this shit. Couldn't find volumes 1 and 2 during Comic-Con because they were always sold out. It was always only 3. 1 and 2 were always gone. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was ridiculous. So, that being said, alright, maybe I'm going too far. I don't think I am. I think One Punch Man won 2015. Soundly. Solidly. So, that being said, episodes 11 and 12. Alright, these episodes I thought were fantastic, but they're very simple. From a structure standpoint, from an overall pacing standpoint, they are very simple. Story-wise, it's honestly just another villain among the list of villains. That's it. But you can arguably say that Lord Boros... No, it's not arguable. Lord Boros is the strongest villain that Saitama has faced to date, period, bar none. And Saitama had to pull out the serious stuff. Saitama, when he had to go serious, you knew that Saitama had to give more effort. Even though it was one punch, it was a serious punch. And that one punch set the bar for Lord Boros as a villain. Now, the manga's not over yet. Oh, no. There's still a lot more powerful fuckers to come. Guarantee you that. And we can't really say that Lord Boros was the god-level threat that the prophecy prophesied would appear. Lord Boros at this point in time categorized he's dragon level. But my god, he's high-end dragon level for sure. Right? So you have low-end dragon level, you could probably throw in maybe Deep Sea King. Yeah. Probably high demon level. The Meteor, absolutely. Lord Boros is with the Meteor. He's up there. But Saitama had to really give it his all. The Meteor was like one shot and damn story, the usual. Lord Boros was a fucking struggle. Kind of. I had to step back. I'm like, was it really a struggle? Yeah, it was a pseudo struggle. Like he had to go a little bit serious, like a sprinkle bit serious. Okay, like if there was a beach, like imagine Saitama's power to be a beach, and you have trillions of sand particles. You gotta maybe do like a little bit of sand, like just a pinch of sand. That's how serious Saitama had to be for Lord Boros. And it was fantastic, honestly. So, one thing I think was clear-cut in both episodes, the animation. The animation I thought was absolutely beautiful. Episode 12 in particular I thought had fantastic animation. The fight between Lord Boros and Saitama was beautiful. Especially when Lord Boros transforms into his final form, looking all white and pale and shit. And like looking like a character straight out of Twilight. It was, my god. Cullings. Ugh. That being said, nightmares. That being said, when he did that up kick, oh god, oh my goodness, that up kick was deadly. Like, do you know how many PMs I got about that up kick? Like just the up kick. When he kicked Saitama to the moon, and he's there in an instant. Do you know how fast you have to be? Understand that. Do you know how fast he kicked Saitama to the moon to reach her in an instant? And what was so cool about that scene, animation-wise, was that in the manga, you have Saitama have like an internal dialogue talking about how it's the moon, gravity is lower here, so he has to compensate. But in episode 12, they do something really neat, Madhouse, where you have Saitama, instead of actually having like an internal dialogue, he's holding his... So, and mind you, space is fucking cold. So that's what happens when you sleep in the winter without any heat. He's able to withstand... he's able to withstand space temperature. It's crazy. But either way, he is able to, like, throw a rock. He's able to, like, kind of feel how much power he should put into his jump based on, like, analyzing the rock and looking at the rock. And he's doing like this. Like, yeah, okay, got it. He's able to do that. They don't have any dialogue. He's able to perceive that with just analyzing the rock. And that was cool. Madhouse, I thought, did a very good job for that particular scene in episode 12. But overall, the one thing that I gotta say I thought was okay-isk was the ship's design. That's like my one honest gripe. Episode 11 had good animation through and through. Episode 12 had better animation. But in both episodes, the ship, I thought could have been better designed, honestly. Like the colors, they weren't as vibrant, they weren't as colorful compared to the manga. The manga, the ship was like, whoa! It was a floating city, vibrant, colorful. Like, it looked like Manhattan in the middle of the night. It was so vibrant and colorful. In the anime, it was just purple. It was just purple. Like, that was it. I was like, fuck. Like, one broad brush purple and a story. So, yes, was it cool looking? Absolutely. Were the shells cool looking in both episode 11 and 12? Absolutely. But overall animation for that design for the ship could have been a lot better. Either way, episode 11 animation wise, I'm gonna say is like honestly great. Episode 12 is a flat out yo. In fact, you probably know where I'm going for the rating for episode 12. You probably already know. You already know. Pacing wise, very simple, very straightforward. Because again, it's like the same format for this villain and his crew compared to the Deep Sea King, compared to the House of Illusion. It's the same overall pacing for every episode. Characterization wise, the episode I think did do good for some of the characters. Like for example, Drive Knight, where he does nothing. Honestly, he does nothing aside from telling Genos to beware of Metal Knight. That I thought was very intriguing. First of all, Drive Knight knows something about Genos and Metal Knight. He knows that Genos' enemy is Metal Knight. So what is the connection between like these three individuals? Not too sure, but there's something there obviously. And Drive Knight is now another factor. So we didn't really know that Genos and Metal Knight had a connection, but now with Drive Knight and his words, both Drive Knight, Genos, and Metal Knight have a connection of some kind. Probably has something to do with the cyborg that went crazy and killed Genos' family. Now my theory is something along the lines of perhaps Metal Knight created Drive Knight, and Drive Knight was that cyborg that killed Genos' family. And at some point, Drive Knight became like self-sentient or some shit like that, and now he's operating on his own. I mean, it's One Punch Man. Weird shit happens. But that being said, it is very fascinating, like, nonetheless, to see that those three have now a connection, a bona fide connection. Bang doing his thing. Bang was honestly like very flatline compared to Atomic Samurai. Very flatline when it came to his overall characterization. Though it was cool seeing him take an attack from that one guy, Mel something. Well, it's called Mel. So he took an attack from Mel, and he gets up like, yeah, my muscles were stiff, but now I'm all loosened up. Yeah, I'm limber right now. Yeah, so I'm like, goddamn. So that was pretty cool as well. The villains also get some characterization. So you got Mel, you got the squid guy, whatever his name was, the telekinetic squid. Then you got, of course, Lord Boros himself. Lord Boros gets the most characterization among all the characters in both episodes, period, bar none. So that being said, characterization-wise, both episode 11 and 12 are fairly good for the characters. Not only through combat, but also through the things that we find out about, let's say, Drive Knight, let's say, Lord Boros and his regen and his species and the prophecy. A lot for Lord Boros. Then, of course, you have My Mask, who didn't do really... He doesn't do shit, honestly. He stands there like pretty boy style, like, half naked and good looking, and they're like, bro, what the hell is this? But, at the same time, you see at the end of episode 12, all of the alien prisoners, he just cuts down. And he starts to have an issue with Metal Bat, where him and Metal Bat start to butt heads. And it's like, whoa, he's A-class, but he's saying that he could be S-class easily. He's a gatekeeper for the S-classes. And understand, Metal Bat, just because I'm A-class does not mean that I am weaker than you by any standard. And it's like, whoa, okay, My Mask. So here you were the entire time doing the slick back. All of a sudden, he seems to be someone that you have to keep your eye on. Because My Mask, even though he's A-class, he's not a bitch. So, very fascinating. And once again, of course, blaming the heroes for not doing their job, even though they were technically ambushed and that kind of shit. It's like, bro, like, come on now. My Mask has a very bloated, superfluous, I suppose, notion of what a hero should be. Like, he thinks that every hero should be like Superman. It's like, dude, like, the only one there who's rocking that stuff plus a cape is the guy with the bald head. Everybody else, you can't really say much about them. Aside from Tatsumaki, who, she did her thing. Like, Tatsumaki, like, she has honestly established herself as being one of the most awesome and coolest Lolicon characters in anime. Like, period. Alright, like, people love her. I love her. Shit, like, she's an awesome character. Like, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So she also does a lot in both episodes 11 and 12 as well. And then finally, at the end of all, you have Metal Knight, who comes out there, who actually takes the tech of Boros' ship. He has now re-fortified a city into like one mega base. The entire thing is actually built on his weird super metal that the building was made out of. The building itself, the former main building of the Hero Association, is now a tombstone for those that died in A City. That's pretty cool, honestly. That's very, very cool. So, character-wise, both episodes had a lot for a lot of characters. So, honestly, it's great overall. And finally, for my personal take on the episodes themselves, I mean, aside from overall story progression, which, again, wasn't that much, considering the fact that it's just routine, granted, it was far more difficult than the norm, and this is the one time that we've seen the most S-class heroes be involved in a battle. But the fact of the matter is that for the main character Saitama, even though Lord Boros was his strongest opponent thus far, it's still the routine. And Saitama still has to go back to deal with weaker opponents that he can defeat in one punch. He is epic, he is awesome, he is one of the coolest villains I've seen. But in the grand scheme of things, all he does is give Saitama that little bit of drive, that one extra heartbeat, that's it. It's crazy, but it's awesome at the same time. So that being said, finally, the rating. Personal opinion wise, episode 11 I think was great plus to amazing. That's an 8.5 to 9. Episode 12 is a 10 out of 10. It's a yo, alright? It's a yo. Ain't no doubt about it. Yo. And you know it to be the case. You fucking know it. Because the fight was just too damn good. Alright? It was so goddamn good. Seeing the S-Class heroes work together to defeat that one guy on the ground. Putty Prisoner, Metal Bat, bang. Atomic Samurai, awesome. Even episode 11, that was awesome as well. But it's Saitama versus Lord Boros. That honestly, Madhouse and the animators of Madhouse, they did a fantastic job when it came to animating the Lord Boros versus Saitama battle. And if you believe that Lord Boros versus Saitama shouldn't be considered one of the best fights that we've seen in anime, then I think you're bullshitting yourself. Honestly. I think you are earnestly bullshitting yourself. That fight was absolutely fantastic from start to finish. No doubt about it in my mind. It is up there with some of the best battles we have seen in anime history. Excluding nostalgia. Nostalgia plays a big role in, rating fights, especially way back when, where there's a lot of old school fantastic battles. Kenshiro versus Raoh. Yusuke Urameshi versus Toguro. Yusuke Urameshi versus Shinobu Sensui. Vegeta versus Goku. Okay? Rurouni Kenshin. Kenshin Himura versus Makoto Shishio. We're talking about some very good, well-recognized fights throughout anime in general, throughout anime history. Saitama versus Lord Boros, in my mind, it has to be up there, no doubt about it. Especially if you're going to exclude nostalgia. Especially as a standalone battle, it's fantastic. So this is the King of Lightning. Be sure to, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Give me your thoughts on episode 11 and 12 of One Punch Man. And of course, I'm going to be reviewing now the specials of One Punch Man. And when it comes to the second season of this anime, I'm going to honestly say 2018-2019, in my personal opinion. Because I think that the manga has to first cover the current villain, the current major villain, and then they can move on to the second season of One Punch Man. Because when you compare this current season, it covered a lot of ground in the manga. A lot of ground. Like, I believe from beginning to Boros, in the manga, I'm pretty sure it was over like 40 chapters. 40 to 50 chapters. I believe so. So, that being said, I'm going to say 2018 and 19, and I will see you guys and gals then for the second season of One Punch Man. But I will see you much sooner for other One Punch Man related material. So once again, King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.
Get up.